You are the unsung heroes of the medical profession. So I want to start by singing your praises. And Carla Maul, I'll pick on her for a minute if you'll stand up. Since she and the rest of her team that was at Washington Hospital Center in 2011 taking care of me. You wave and say hello, introduce yourself if you're here, just say hi. All right. So they were there taking care of me when I was on ECMO, and she was in the OR with me on one of my most critical surgeries exactly 12 years ago to the day. I can only imagine how difficult your jobs are. You're mostly alone in a room with someone on the verge of death, accompanying them and their family through one of the most terrifying and painful experiences of their life. And many don't survive, especially these last few years. You might have been the first one the last one that they saw when they died, before they died, and the first one that their grieving family saw. And those who do survive may not even know who you are, what you did, and they never came back to say thank you. You're like the lineman in a football team, shows up every day, rain or shine, play after play. Most important, critical people on the field, but most people have never heard of you. Appreciate what it takes to do this job, nor what it takes from you. The emotional toll, the sacrifices you've made. Also, the star players can run these dazzling plays, and hopefully a patient can live another day. You swim with death all day long, so it seems more normal. You might burn out or feel maybe disillusioned or numb, just all these intense emotions coming up all day. But you keep showing up. This is a hard and noble profession you've chosen. And I'm only able to tell my story today because of you. You've given me the priceless gift of more time. And even those who didn't survive, your accompaniment of them in their final hours was just as important a gift. When I was there in my most critical moments and my family couldn't be there, someone like you always was. And if I had died, my death would have been better because of that. So thank you, Carla. Thank you, all of you. You really matter. But what about you? Who's taking care of you? For months, as I've prepared this, I've been thinking, what is the greatest gift I could give back to you? And I realized halfway through I was holding back something. And then a bunch of slides about neuroscience or psychology or coaching could never really capture what I wanted to tell you. The life-changing insights that this heart transplant had for me. To communicate that and to point us to some deeper issues that I live and coach by every day and that I believe are the true bedrock of human flourishing, this talk was wanting to become something else entirely. So I took a deep breath and I let it. I'm going to invite you into my personal story and into the hospital room with me and my family and my donor in a way that is more raw and intimate than I've done with anyone ever so far. I'm hoping that through that I can pass along some of the gifts that this experience has given me. So once again, I'm going to put my heart in your hands. Please handle with care and hold on to your britches. This body of mine descended from slave owner and slave, carries inside the legacy of bondage, displacement, and genocide, alcoholism, and mental illness. My mother's adoption, nothing can fill this hole from which she comes. But she reaches and pushes me up into the sun. And my father, his unfinished dreams also live in me. His talents couldn't bloom in the sparse soil of his family's tree. Outside the skin gives unearned privilege and power. These muscles strive. I win championships. I tower first place on the wrestling mat. This mind achieves valedictorian, Ivy League, all that. But this heart beats like a drum for music and art and for a planet and its people and for a God that's not apart from anything or anyone. I travel the world looking for love, searching for inspiration from above. I feel tender and tough and never enough. Her body descended from Romanian peasants and math teachers who survived communism. No presents at Christmas, just socks. Never said I love you, put their feelings in a box. Her body wants more. So at 18, she walks out the door to Spain to explore the world, expand her mind, and dance with all kinds of people. Our paths cross at Harvard. Our bodies meet on the dance floor. Something stirs in my core, wants to connect, like terminals of a battery begging to complete the circuit. Just before we take the stage on the night of our talent show, I place a Band-Aid on the back of her neck to cover her mole so it doesn't catch on my toe during our neck drop, trust fall, step over, heel kick move that will either win or lose it all. My hand lingers under her hairline. A tiny spark arcs between us. Is it a sign? Well, the next 5 minutes are a blur, but one thing's for sure. When it's all done, it looks like we're making love with our clothes on. When it's all done, the crowd has exploded. We've won first place. We're floating in outer space. A few beers at the pub with the team afterwards, and it starts to rain. It never occurs to me to bring an umbrella, but I offer to walk her home. We're wet. The scene is set. Our eyes connect. She kisses me, and I kiss her back. But I'm not ready to date. So we graduate and go our separate ways. But gravity keeps us intersecting, connecting, hiding less and less, but sharing more and more. I didn't know that's what friends with benefits are for. Anyway, she builds a career. I build Obama's campaign, make history there, then go insane making graphs in Excel at the World Bank. My bank account flushed, but my soul in the tank. So I meditate and go to yoga with hot women that I date. One night when she's visiting, we find ourselves sitting under a statue, talking all night. Tender but honest till the early morning light breaks on this Civil War general on his horse. Of course, a decision needs to be made. She's run out of patience with my childish ways. She's surprised that she's hurt. I'm remorseful and amazed that she seems to love me for the man I could become. I ponder out loud the implications of dating just one. But if I surrender, the union will have won. Is she the one? And I look up at that statue. It's already done. I've fallen into love. And I think I can make her happy. So I ask her out for real. I get real sappy. I give her gifts. We drive across Ireland, jump off cliffs in the Dominican Republic, hug ancient trees, draw OJ in the sand in Vancouver, BC. I feel weak in the knees. We meet our families. And then in DC, we see the cherry blossoms. This explosion of bright pink on the Potomac. And I think, God, looks like cotton candy. And in that moment, our life is like cotton candy, unbelievably sweet and dissolving in an instant. I feel her tiny, soft hand in mine, on my back, the warm sunshine, cool breeze on my cheek, carrying the smell of spring. We're young and in love and have no idea what's coming. Just weeks later, I'm gripping her hand, staring up from my hospital bed, trying to land somewhere in her beautiful brown eyes, gasping for air, drowning with terror in my own fluids, heart failing, rough sailing. They drain my whole body, but it only gets worse. Now I'm shipwrecked and dying from drowning and thirst. No one can help me, and I'd rather die drowning, so I dive deep into her eyes. She breathes with me, counting. 1, good, baby, good. 2, good, stay with me. She is my drishti, my single point of focus. My family surrounds me. They are my locus. God, I thought I lost my religion, but I just found it again. I'm making promises to Jesus. I'm sorry for my sins. I'm no hero. I'm not asking for more time. I just want the struggling to stop, please. God, and then up my spine, this thunderbolt of pleasure shoots through me. Lord, have mercy. Have no fear. The nurse leans in. How's the morphine, dear? Well, I'll be damned. God works in mysterious ways. With that in the system, I could do this for days. I almost enjoy the catheter going in. I'm kind of excited that we're going for a spin in a helicopter across DC on a Friday night. Wait till I tell my friends, this is out of sight. But at Washington Hospital Center, Oh, the terror returns more real than before. Is that death at the door? I explore the feelings of my loved ones' hands in mine. I study their faces. Is this what my fate is? Am I out of time? Do you want to be sedated? Yes, I plead. If I die here tonight, at least I'm with family. "6 weeks of coma. Everything goes wrong. Heart has stopped, lungs have popped, infections rock me. Lab results are back. It's giant cell myocarditis that attacked my heart. Right there in the waiting room, Mom and Dad break down. And this one man, big and brown, gets up, walks over at a single bound and wraps them up, arms around them both, and they sob on his chest. They saw me open, sternum broken. ECMO goes in with lots of heparin. Induced thrombocytopenia. I say, what? Clots in his brain? Yeah, your kid's in the drain. He's unresponsive, and his organs are quitting. They tell my family as they're sitting in that room where they give you bad news, he's gonna lose. He's almost there. It's time to prepare. But my brother flies fighter jets, pulls 9 Gs, makes big bets. And Juana, well, she grew up fighting. Her mind has a special kind of lighting. She loves Grey's Anatomy. A doctor's what she wanted to be. She's memorized my file as a giant cell expert on speed dial. My dad, stubborn mule, silly fool, he's sure I'll survive this, because, well, that's what my life is to him, extraordinary. And my mom, well, she's my fucking mom. You can't peel her from my side. And don't forget those perfusionists, those steady, faithful sentinels, praying for me in the hallways between their calls, always asking about the pictures on my walls. They are on top of everything that's occurring to me, keeping it real, but reassuring my family. Together, they are a formidable front. They will not bunt this one. They are swinging for the fences. They challenge the best minds who agree to test me one last time. And this time, my mother will do the talking. Thank you very much. I hear her voice. Can't see her face, but I know this place. I'm a baby lying on my back on the blue shag carpet of my great Aunt Billy's living room in Marlow, Oklahoma. Honey, move your left foot. Honey, move your right foot. She's scared. I'm scared. But I put my trust in her and do what she asked. That proves to someone that I'm up for the task. In the propofol underworld, I travel to strange places. Don't know the faces, but I see bodies like mine straddling that line between life and death. I'm lying in this darkened hut. This African witch doctor holds this snake to my gut. I feel this deep cut. It bites me there. Sucks the poison out. But it feels like a real knife. I want to scream. I want to shout. Up above, they've found a real witch doctor. The only man who will and can. Dr. Robert Lowry, a black man who knows what it means to say, yes, we can. And at his side, Carla, a spicy Cajun perfusionist, is there, alligator bandana covering her hair. They throw a Hail Mary full of grace. 12 hours, 30 units of blood, not an easy case. A huge clock comes out, Centromag goes in. They stick me in an ambulance and ship me to Richmond. When I awake, it feels like I'm buried in a ton of cement, pinned to the walls of one of those fair rides that spin. Can't move, can't talk, can't breathe, barely see. The pump at the foot of my bed looks like Gandhi and my dead grandfather. My mind spins a story overhearing talk of transplant. Stealing hearts from poor kids overseas for me? No way, I won't stand for that. I'm trying to say, I'd rather die. I will clog your fucking eyes and drag myself out of here on the floor if I have to. No more. They tie me to the bed. See, it's true what I said. You can't trust anyone. Not even Mom and Juana. They just want to save my life. They'll go along with this lie. Where's my brother? He's a pilot. He'll fly in any minute and take us to the Dominican Republic. What the hell's going on? Where's my dad? He's always late. He'll tell it to me straight. And he always shows up. My dad pulls up a chair next to the bed, takes my hands in his, strokes my head. Those carpenter teacher hands, calloused and tanned and thick and nicked with scars, but gentle as can be. He looks me in the eye and says, son, your heart's broke, kaput. And you've had a stroke. You got to stay put. You're going to need a transplant. Those big tubes in your belly, they're keeping you alive. You can't pull on them, really. My mouth drops, eyes bulge, face is white. But you listen to me. You know how to fight. And we are going to walk out of here together one day. I promise you. I hear him say like he's seen the future. And though from where I lay, I just can't do that math. Somehow I believe him. And I try to imagine the path. My nights are full of terror. Alone, can't sleep, can't speak, too weak to even push the call button. Ambien makes me freak. It's like Groundhog's Day. My night nurse, Grant, recounts his son's baseball game where he hits a grand slam, but every night the words are exactly the same. I don't know where or when I am. Is this even real? What's the deal with that incessant beeping? What's that humming? When is Jenner coming? God, how's he going to land an airplane out there on thin air so high up? When's the sun coming up? God. Finally, the window starts to glow orange and red. My fear subsides. I sink into bed. Daylight, family, hope returns. Oh, I'm so tired. Eyes are closed and sleep, sweet, sweet rest. This is the best part. And then, whoosh, blinding sunlight floods the room like a stone's been rolled back from my tomb. Good morning, Jesse. Time to wake. Let's make it a great day. Nurse Pie is here as always. 6:30, a ray of sunshine. But my mind just wants sleep. Not Tinkerbell, I think, as I curl up in a ball. I want to crawl in a hole and hide from the world. All day long, white coats come and poke and prod. Everyone wants a piece of me. The doctors and nurses increasingly get on my nerves. Lift up your shirt. Does that hurt? Can you do this? I'm getting pissed. Can you read that? No. And why am I so fat? Well, that's just some swelling, they say. I'm like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. And holy shoot, it's like a grapefruit down there. And there's a tear on my, what's your name? When's your birthday? This is so lame. What's the date today? I don't know what to say. Can you count backwards from 100 by 7? Lady, I can't even count by 2s. I'm going to lose it. I'm getting pale. What if I fail these tests? Finally, Penny, my physical therapist, comes. Going to help me rebuild these guns. Hardest and best part of my day. Her British humor and grit lift me up and say, you can't just stay in bed all day. Progress is so slow. It's like watching a plant grow day to day. But after a few weeks, hey, I can raise my arms. Up, down, and pretty soon I'm sitting up in bed, gown wrapped around girls so my tubes don't pop out. God, so hard to breathe. I can't cop out now. Everyone's watching and cheering. Just got no strength. God, I'm fearing I might just pass out. But before long, got me dangling my legs over the bed. Still no strength, can't breathe. Hardest thing I ever did. Not too long after that, it's time to stand. I don't know if I can. Come on, Jess. Yes, you can. Let's get this done. 1, 2, 3. Up. Hold. Down. Good. We're done. A few weeks go by, and it's time to walk. Oh, you say walking on the Central bag's never been done? Oh, this should be fun. Guess you got to walk before you can run. Team wants to try. And Juan is standing by on the other side of the room like she just assumes I'm going to make it. I'm not so sure. 15 feet looks like a mile. I think about wrestling and try to smile. So I muster all my courage and concentrate on her. I'm on the verge of passing out. Tell my legs to move, arms clenched to walk her. Foot drags, motherfucker. Tell my hip, knee, and ankle to lift, lean, place, down. Good. Now repeat. She's all smiling at me. I'm serious, focused. She's a mirage. Almost there. Keep going. You got this. Hope I get a kiss at the end of this at least. I freaking walked. I'm a beast. The rest of my days consist mostly of people poking, stroking, blowing, sucking, wiping, cutting, and wrapping me. They either take out my fluids or clean them up. The poop crew comes when needed. What's up, Mr. Torrence? They're always so cheerful. One wipes me, the other rolls me, the other wipes me. And I'm panting and tearful because it's tough. I can't get enough air. My lungs all compressed. My ribs and chest are so sore. Ugh. All done. Bye, Mr. Torrence. I smile away and walk out the door. It's so weird. I look like a grown man to them, but I feel like a baby in here. The respiratory therapist comes a few times a day with that big long tube they use to suck clean my airwaves, stick down my trach. Ugh. Lungs and whole body start to spasm. It feels like a chasm between who I was and who I am. I ran for miles before. God, how long has it been? Oh, these poor lungs. Will they ever work again? My family does the stroking and blowing. See, I can't focus my eyes to read. I'm overwhelmed by TV, uncomfortable and cold constantly. So a warm blanket and hairdryer is like ecstasy. Foot massage, please. Another juice, please. It's like a full-time pit crew for me. And now the doctors have finally agreed to let my family stay the night free. So I begin to rest and heal, finally, because I feel safe. But Juana's still working full-time, traveling. Can't afford to get fired now. She is so tired. How does she do it? Months have passed. I'm getting stronger. Spirits are lifted. I can stay awake longer when friends visit. I get a superhero cape for PT. A bundle of cards arrives from overseas. I'm like a child with no guilt or shame in me. This is obvious when I notice that Juana one day, while holding my penis in her hand, starts to say to my dad, who's standing there looking right over my shoulder, studying my testicles, which are as big as boulders, "Now, David, pay attention. It's easy and fun. You just clean and dress his wound like this, and voila, it's all done." One of my nurses' doll loves to dance. When she finds out why Juana first took a chance on me, she asks us to perform. Now, I'm not my best form, but a show is a show. Before you know it, Mom's put on one of our favorite bachatas, and a team of perfusionists and Penny and a lot of nurses are gathered around. Got my waist wrapped up, tubes tightly bound. We really doing this? I asked Juana. No neck drops today, okay? But I still want to give her a few spins, as if to say, look at her, not me. I'm just a clown in my big fuzzy slippers and green polka dot gown, my superhero cape on, just trying not to fall down. She's gorgeous, an angel, a dream. I'm this nightmarish Frankenstein octopus thing with tubes and wires snaking out of my body. Can't even eat or take myself to the potty. She sways and swivels and spins with grace. She's beaming, she's perfect. My dumb face, just this droopy frown. But I'm doubling down on ridiculous now. For the first time in my life, I don't give a damn how I look to anyone else. Besides, I'm somewhere else completely. I can feel our bare feet on the creaky wood floor of my apartment in D.C. Our naked bodies pressed together, her breath like a feather on my chest as we rise and fall like a boat on the sea. And the strangest thought occurs to me. What if this fantasy is real and I've just been dreaming? I'll wake up from this nightmare and be my old self, perfect heart, chiseled body, and precious books on my shelf. And then an even stranger thought occurs. Now that I've danced like this with her, I'm not so sure which reality I'd prefer. Simple pleasures and good company bring moments of joy to the daily monotony. We have date nights once a week. My urinal holds a rose. Juana puts on a movie, climbs into bed, and the nurse knows to give us some privacy. The perfusionists and nurses are like family now. Let's see, there's Amy, Chris, Dahl and Eddie, Harold, Pi, Jean and Kelly, Kendall, Laura, Lori, Mason, Marina, Missy, Emma, Melissa, Renee, Regina, Sam and Shelby, Roger, Brett, and Scott. Hell, I forgot a few. Point is, it's almost not that bad some days. My trache's removed, so I can speak with a whisper. My feeding tube's out, so now I can kiss her. And you know, it's not just with romance where little things matter. One day, my perfusionist Harold sees a tatter, some loose stitching on my centromag tubes. If he knows one of those pop loose, I could lose enough blood to die right there on the floor. Don't move, he implores. He runs off, comes back with 4 of the nurses. Thanks to him, I'm sharing these verses. My lungs have finally improved. I'm holding steady, getting ready. I'm listed 1A. Now I'm just waiting for the day for someone healthy to die. Waiting for a good death now. I don't want to know how. I just hope it's quick and painless. I think how insane this is that I'm waiting for someone to die. Trying not to hope, but counting the days waiting for the 4th of July or just maybe any Saturday night. Maybe after a fight, some guy will take flight, leave the bar in his car, make that fatal mistake and cross the gate, hit a train, and I hope not another car. That's a terrible thought. That's not what I was taught. The human life just feels too big. Like, can't they use a pig? One night at the end of July, I'm dreaming of a train crossing nearby. It's dark. I'm in a car. It's parked right by the gate. There's a bright light, a loud horn, and then someone wakes me. Everything all right? I assume I might have messed the bed again. But my nurses are all here, smiling as they file in. My mom squeezes my hand. I'm here too. Honey, they found a heart for you. Now, I don't have a heart that will jump anymore, but something leaps inside me. They're flying it from Chattanooga right now. And suddenly that reminds me that's a real place. I start to imagine a real face in a lifeless body, stiff and cold, and another mother holding his hand, staring into an empty hole. She'd just been awakened with the worst news of her life. It just doesn't seem fair. I can't square this circle. It's a double-edged knife. Dr. Vigneshwar Kasarajan and Dr. Daniel Tang perform a perfect surgery. Thank you. I just wish I knew the names of the perfusionists who made it possible. You are the real gatekeepers, the givers and takers of life, whose precision with the chemistry enables the surgeon's knife. Balancing pump and pipes and plasma, you're the constant presence in the room, that thread of hope for an entire family, like angels guarding a tomb. And you might not get the credit or the photo ops or glory, but rest assured, without you, there'd be no one to tell this story. So thank God for all of you and the work you do each day. And thanks to those who make these incredible machines for months on which I lay. When I awake, it takes a minute to make the connection. It's done. I'm stunned. There's a racehorse in my chest, strong and fast. Easy, boy, just rest. I got you. Don't be scared. I say the lines I've prepared for weeks. You're my guest. You're welcome here. You belong here. I'll do my best to love you, accept you, listen to you, trust you. I will nourish you, protect you. I believe in you. I am one with you. One day I will run with you, have fun with you, lie in the sun with you. Just help me be true to what I'm here to do. May I be true, may I be true, may I be true. May I never forget the cost of this. May I untwist all the knots from where I've missed the mark, fell short, skipped court.
Help me wipe the slate clean. Forgive myself. Die to me. Endless chase. Open me to grace. Your body lies in a grave someplace southwest of here, but you can rest in here. Because my heart was broken, but I still got love to give. And your body was lost, but you still want to live. I don't know his age or color or party or size, whether he wanted to be a girl or preferred to date guys, whether he was smart or could talk or could see or hear or walk, whether he liked heavy metal or preferred classic rock. The clock is ticking now. I don't care. His heart beats just the same for me. Its love is free and fair. The docs say we're not out of the woods yet. There's a lot of could still. It's no sure bet. You could stop beating within the hour or 24, maybe a few more. But from here on out, it'll be bout after bout. We'll count the days, weeks, months, and years with fears of rejection by infection or rejection, fears of death by rejection or infection. It's like carrying a timer around in a suitcase. It keeps me living, with no idea when this gift horse might give in. But with a beating heart and color in my face and fewer tubes and wires, I'm ready to finish this race. It's just that, damn, they were right. My immune system down, infections abound. I get yeast in the lungs, a beast of a fungal infection, which means connection again, and ventilation, reintubation, more frustration. It was too good to be true. They cut me open, scraped me out, and glued me back. My new scars look like a shark attack. When I wake, I'm so weak again, so thin, just bones and skin. Lying in bed, seated, feeling defeated and depleted. Hey, I guess it's worth repeating. This heart's still beating. 2 steps forward, 1 step back, I tell myself it's okay. And hey, they say a hurricane's on its way to hit the East Coast. That's the most poignant reminder. There's a host of bigger forces at play beyond my little body today. Just that, damn, seeing freedom so close, then taken away. Losing my voice again, can't even say what I need again. I'm a freaking skeleton. Ugh, the frustration starts to build as the storm clouds fill the sky, the rain pounds the window, the debris starts to fly. I pull myself up out of bed. Ugh, my face is all red. I'm wobbling on stick legs like a puppet on threads. Ugh. I'm a mule caught in barbed wire. Inside there's a fire. I start pulling my wires, beating in my chest, screaming at the window. You want to test me? God damn, you fucking bring it. I want to explode. It's a code red. Mom and want to head for the door. I can't take it anymore. What's it all for? I just want to be strong again. I just want to be a man again. Just a fucking human. I don't know what I am. And I realize all this rage of mine, trying to break out of this cage of mine, is well, mostly in my mind, because the trach in my throat has made this all more of a pantomime. The storm passes, my legs feel like molasses, so I crawl back into bed. Juana joins me, nothing to be said. She strokes my head. I notice the head of my shrunken penis has disappeared within the folds of my twisted, distended foreskin. I pretend that this cannot affect me. I'm better than this. I'll practice mindfulness on my catheter. Juana offers me a foot massage. I pause, then point. Let me give you one. I just want to do one thing for you. Press my thumbs into her foot for a while, then tie her and move to her neck. I find that big knot. It just takes a lot of strength to make my bony little fingers turn, my forearms burn. After a while, she turns to me and says, "You can stop. It's okay, baby. That's enough. That's enough. You're enough. You are enough for me. The words she has spoken defy how broken I feel. But for the first time in my life, they feel true. Maybe I don't have to do or be anything. Maybe I am enough. Not because of the state I'm in, but because of my state within. And right now, that state feels like a clear, still lake, like a mirror reflecting a blue sky and an autumn scene with purple, red, orange, yellow, and green leaves. Everyone leaves my room. The winds and waters recede. I no longer plead for anything. I have all I need. I have enough. I am enough. As I wake from my trance of unworthiness, I sleep so deeply, and people are courteous as they come to me. Take this, measure that. I don't interact. Deep and still there, but I don't care. My eyes are closed, mind is still, heart's open. I feel the beating just fill my chest. Some time goes by with me lying in bed, and Dr. Tessier comes in with some news. You've got C. diff, he says. Oh, what's that? I ask, and which antibiotic will we use? And it's not that simple, he says with a frown. This little bug's one of the worst around. Oh, is that why I'm shitting my guts out all day? Oh, and my intestines want to explode? And it feels like a demon's crawled up my ass and I've swallowed a poisonous toad? Yeah, pretty much. Soon it gets much worse. I say to the nurse, oh God, it feels like a baby's inside me. God, I thought I was tough, but you say it's just bloating? Does that mean I'm just a big sissy? Maybe, she says as she turns to Juana, who's rubbing her hand on my belly. This is why men can never have babies. Just keep rubbing them clockwise, honey. But soon I start puking and blood's coming out. It won't seem to stop, and the doctors are in doubt about what to do. So they take a tube, give it some lube, stick it in my belly, suck out some goo. Nothing's resolved, but I'm already awake, so they figure, why not? Let's take in a bigger feeding tube, too. Oh. I'm trying not to break, but God, Juana's in Salt Lake. It's just me and Mom. God, sing me a song, please. I'm so tired of fighting these infections. Why me? I don't see what I did to deserve this. Can't the nurse give us something stronger? Yeah, how much longer is this gonna last? Oh, this too shall pass, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. Mom wipes away my tears. Oh, honey. God hears us and thinks, you know what'd be funny? An earthquake. That sure shake things up in Richmond. Stop all this bitching. So sure enough, on a beautiful sunny day, I think it was a Tuesday, the whole building starts to sway. We can't run for cover, so we grab onto each other. I'm covered in blood, vomit, and tears. Nurses are all screaming, everyone's leaning. I'm thinking to myself, it's been a good 31 years, but how ridiculous. I'm scared, sad, and pissed. After all this trouble, we're gonna be buried in rubble? God. And then, as I'm clinging to my mother like a helpless baby, I start to feel rising up from the depths of me this familiar old feeling, like a distant memory, and then it slips through my lips. Sounds like a hee. Oh. Oh, is that a laugh? Oh. Mom starts to laugh too as we're riding the floor. We start to cackle and chuckle. Pretty soon it's an uproar. Oh God. Our tears of sadness become tears of gladness. A smile breaks over my face. God's little chuckle reminds me my ticker's just fine. And it's all funny in a big cosmic race. But oh God, that night, when the sun is gone, I'm just waiting for dawn. The seconds crawl on. It's like my dark night of the soul, final threshold. The pain is so bold.
I can't outrun it. So I put all my attention on it. Wire in the neck, pipe in the throat, tube in the nose, pressure in the belly, burn in the groin, tube in the pecker, swollen toes, tube in the lungs, incision in the chest. Feel my heart beating. Try my best to synchronize breath with beat. Hear the nurse's feet in the hallways, giggling as always. IV beeping, ventilator keeping me from sleeping. What is this pain? Pain it's just sensation, right? I suffer because of my interpretation of the situation, a creation of my mind. It's not the pain I mind so much as the frustration of being restrained all the time, wrapped up in stories about the future, the past, or what I've lost, or how long this might last. I can't change this. I gotta rearrange this in my mind somehow. Find a new story that's true. Old story is I'm powerless. What's a new story? New story. I can choose. What can I choose? I can choose to reject or accept what's here right now. Rejection feels like heart's closed. Acceptance feels like heart's open. Can I accept what's here right now with an open heart, even though I'm broken? What if I accepted that I'm broken right now and the world is too? What if I stop fighting and just surrender to what's true? Okay, so what's true? What's true? That I exist? Who's even asking the question? Where's the I that wants to know? The I that's watching my mind suffering about all this pain from head to toe. Keep diving. Find the source. What's this force? I. Where's the I? In my heart. But that part of me is gone now. Now it's part me, part him, this mutual kind of bond. I only exist as part of a whole. There's no life without his death. There's no heart without my soul. I need this heart. This heart needs me. We interdepend. There's no I. It's just we. Shit, that's it. Juana's sleeping by the side of the bed. She's so tired, working so hard, curled up in a ball. Tiny little head. The damn chair keeps folding up on her head. What'd she get herself into with this wild card? New thought just pierced my bubble. What was knowing all about all this trouble? What was about her and what she needs? What if I gave up on me and said we? What could we build? Where might this lead? What if one day we became three? Could a family tree grow out of this? Could my pain lead to purpose? Could this moment be bliss? What could we create from here? This heart needed a home. I gave it one. Now she needs a home. I need to get this shit done. I don't need the pain to stop. I need a purpose that's clear. I don't need to recover what's missing. I need to appreciate what's here. I don't need to find myself. I need to lose myself to something bigger, more dear. I fall asleep with a heart full of dreams. And when I wake up, it's like a switch has been flipped on my machine. God, it seems so obvious now. What took me so long? Juana's gone to work. I signal to Mom, whiteboard, please. Find that song. The Promise by Tracy Chapman. I know exactly what to do. Get Juana here now. Juana comes and plays the song. Baby, I want to build a life with you. I do too. You want to get married? 2 nods means true. Well, okay. Yeah. Life is short. Let's do it today. Get the chaplain. No delay. Everyone's dancing like they're in the end zone, except Dr. Tang. He's had too much prednisone. Not on my watch. Fine, okay, but plans are laid and calls are late. Calls are made.
My hope heals my body. My cells do karate in these infections. The doctor perplexed. He double checks his numbers. No corrections.
Home is so close. There's no time to coast. It's training time. Let's get this shit done. I'll start doing squats on the side of the bed. Oh, ugh. Feels like I weigh a ton, even though it's just this 100-pound skeleton. September 12th. Been 5 months, give or take a few days. I'm going home finally. What did Dad say? I gotta walk out of here? How long's that walk? Hell, promise is a promise. Can't walk now, no fear. Besides, I can see the finish line from here. As we walk out those front doors, and that thick Richmond heat swallows me up from head to feet. I smell flowers like it's my first time. I hear a bird singing. I see colors. All my senses are online. A few weeks later, we put our feet in the sand. Not in the West, but in Virginia, on that land, not far from where the first slaves landed in this land of the free, in these shores of contradiction in 1619. African hearts cut from their tree, across the sea, transplanted and mixed with Chesapeake, Cherokee, and Shawnee, and so many other involuntary offerings, and served to those who, like me, came with broken hearts and broken bodies, full of anguish and hope, trying to cope with the emptiness of not enough. Near here, perhaps, is where my ancestors meet. Here, where these waters wash over my feet, I feel the sand between my toes. I can't stand. I pull Juana close. She holds me. I let my body float between death and life, between love and strife, between the future and past. I see our weddings pass. I see our children born at last. I hold him in my arms, Sasha, Darius Alexander, defender of good. He reminds me I am good. We are all good in our hearts, where we remember all of our parts. I hold our daughter, Nadia, who means hope. I know its power to help us cope with all things, including death. I see our children grow. I see them sow the seeds planted centuries ago by friend and foe. I see my parents laid bare, returned to the ashes. And I know I will follow. I'm already there. And this knowing that I die softens me, deepens me, dissolves me. Renews me. Strengthens me. Expands me. Sharpens me. Commands me. Just like love. Death is a mirror to the love that's here. It reminds me life is dear, that it's impermanent, that heaven's right here under the firmament. I cry and want his arms like I've never cried before. I'm sobbing like a man who holds death in his core, who feels so much joy and grief on the other side of the door. And grief for that family whose kid lived to 20 and no more. And that grief, if I open to it all, if I dare. Yeah. It feels like this bottomless black pit of despair. My chest came in. Just empty there. But then into that void, I feel something start to flow in from everywhere. I feel their love. I feel their love. I feel his love. I feel my love. Our love. God's love. I feel it in the earth, in the water, in the fire, in the air. I feel it in the sound and the light and the thoughts. It's everywhere. It's all love. I'm love. I am love. Now I see. Death illuminates love. It reminds me what I must be. Reminding me that I'm love is death's collateral beauty. Next time you're sitting in that space between guarding the tomb, your hand on the machine, you might ask yourself, what new story could emerge for me about death and life and love and me? If from time to time I allowed something to soften and break wide open in me and felt that love like gravity, that love that permeates all. What could I create from the pain in this room? If I looked for the love woven into the doom. If death became my sacred food, how might my life be transformed and renewed? In case my poetry falls short, I just want to bring this esoteric personal experience of mine back to your daily life a bit. We know what death takes from us, the pain it brings, but what might it offer us if we opened to it, felt it in our bodies more deeply? Because witnessing death or contemplating our own mortality, could it transform us? Could it nourish us? Could it do some of the things that help us flourish, like coaching, psychology, psychotherapy, even leadership development? I think yes. Death evokes existential fear, so all our other fears pale in comparison. It gives us courage. Death puts a timeline and a price on our life, right? Illuminating our priorities, making us more grateful, focused, and decisive. Death reminds us of our shared humanity, making us more humble and empathetic. And most importantly, death breaks our hearts. And the more grief we feel, the more love is also present there in that relationship. The problem is it's locked up in our hearts. And we can only feel it fully if we grieve fully, if we mourn what we've lost or what we're afraid to lose. Then we can express our love for others more deeply and receive their love more fully. And we also are more sensitive to and permeable to the love that's in everything. And that universal love lifts us up
expands us, and eventually transforms our grief into compassion, acceptance, and forgiveness. It also lowers our defenses of pride, anger, and envy, which usually keep us from feeling harder emotions like fear, guilt, and shame, the ones that most often stall our lives. Now, instead of repressing or projecting those emotions onto others, we can actually transform them and let them go, or they become rocket fuel for our lives. Fear becomes trust, guilt becomes desire, shame becomes purpose, and grief becomes boundless compassion. And with these emotions healthily integrated from a place of balance in our hearts, we feel empowered to speak our truth with kindness. We unleash our creative gifts in the world. We see clearly and cut through lies and illusions. We have a more elevated perspective and a deeper focus on what matters. In other words, we develop wisdom. And with compassion and wisdom at the controls, we make choices every day that align with our deepest purpose, truth, and meaning, and serve others. We begin to feel heaven on earth, the kingdom within, or as what Joseph Campbell said, the rapture of being alive. And that is contagious, literally. Our hearts are the most powerful source of electromagnetic energy in the body. Scientists now know we can actually change the field around us and affect others up to 5 feet away or more. It's called heart coherence. No wonder this alchemy of emotions that transforms our lives happens in the heart. That's why all great spiritual traditions throughout time have pointed to the heart as that bridge to heaven between the lower and higher self. That's why Jesus said we must be like children to enter the kingdom of heaven, which he said is within. What's so special about children? Their hearts are still wide open. So death's hidden gift, its collateral beauty, if we allow it, is that it breaks open our hearts so that love can come in and out, which transforms, enriches, and renews our lives, just as in the rest of nature, where decaying matter releases nutrients back into the entire food chain. Of course, if you see death every day, we'll probably protect against feeling that or processing that grief fully. And we might miss the opportunity for growth or just make ourselves sick and exhausted. Conversely, a single death felt fully in the heart can change our life forever. I've still never met my donor's family, and I know very little about him, but I spent 12 years contemplating, trying to imagine the pain of that loss, not because I'm masochistic or feel guilty, but because every time I do, my heart breaks open just a little bit more, and the love pours out of the cracks. I feel that experience like I had on Virginia Beach with Juana that day, and I can be a better person in the world. Now, nice theory, you might say, but I don't have time to feel death that deeply all day or more in all my emotions. I can't go home and let myself maybe feel all that joy when I've just told a father with kids that their mother's not coming home. What do I do with all that? I don't know. But I live with perhaps a tiny version of that every day, and all I can do is stay open, make time to grieve, and try to create joy from that sorrow. More practically, I would invite you and your organizations to invest the time and money to regularly explore in a safe space all the emotions that come up with this profession and to feel the emotions to completion, not just grief. You're operating in an emotionally perilous environment, dealing with that most fundamental and traumatic of human experiences. If you don't process that fully, it could kill you. But if you do, I wonder, could your proximity to death as perfusionists actually nourish and renew you daily instead of draining you? Not despite the death that surrounds you, but because of it. Because of the love that pours in and out when we truly mourn, when we feel all of our feelings, when we let our hearts be broken, and we can feel the joy of just being alive. I don't know. I'll let you be the judge of that. But thank you for your service, for hearing my story. God bless you. Safe travels. And I'm going to put a 3-minute little video to let you know that I didn't make all this up. Would my family please come join me real quick? I want you to see these lovely people who your work literally created. Come on up. Without you and all the advances you make and the dedication, they would not be here. I would not be here, and my children would not exist. Mom, Dad, come on up. My little beautiful daughter. Come on, Nadia. All right. You got sound?
I don't think you got sound yet. Let me know when you're ready for sound.
I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. You like to move it. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. You like to move it. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. You like to move it. All girls all over the world. Original master upon your case, man. I love how them girls are move them body. And when you move your body, when you move it nice and sweet and sexy, alright? Woman, you do it, how you do it now for me? We're gonna come for me, do it, come for me, woman, you do it, how you do it now for me? We're gonna come for me, do it, come for me, come on, physically, physically, come on, physically.
Deslizarme de a poquito por el ruedo de tu falda es el sueño que quisiera realizar. No me dejas regalarme una mañana, yo te sirvo de almohada. Postúrame a tu cama y habrá fiesta.
Porque they can't do it, makes us all love and faster, stronger.
That don't kill me, can only make me stronger. I need you to hurry up now, cause I can't wait much longer. I know I got to be right now, cause I can't get much stronger. Man, I've been waiting all night now, that's how long I've been on ya. If you
Go down.
wait for me, then I come feel. Although I've tried so far. Been working so hard, I'm punching my card. Later, for what? Oh, tell me what I got. I got this feeling that time's just holding me down. I can see all obstacles in my way. Go to the dark clouds that hang me blind. It's gonna be a bright, sunshiny day.
Thank you all. I love you. Appreciate you.